Now, I shall pass the time to Dickson to talk about the topic AI Unleashed Beyond Content to Marketing Mastery. Dickson, please.
Thank you so much. Is there a clicker or is there a clicker that I can use? Yeah, thanks. All right, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for your time today. When Ken approached me to talk about to share the keynote, I wasn't too sure about what we were going to discuss in the panel, but I'm glad the questions that we received were a lot of curveball questions that caught me a little bit of a surprise, but that's fine. And it's a nice extension because in a way, okay, I'm afraid the clicker it's not exactly working. Well, okay, thanks. So I think we all agree that AI it's here to stay, even though AI came out in 2022. Now there is a meteoric rise in the use case and adoption, and especially in marketing, that's one of the most popular area where AI it's being adopted. I think these numbers will all change. They'll probably rise to maybe close to 80, 90% in the coming 18 months. And if we can move to the next slide, please. If we dial back into history, if I may say, AI is not something new. In the early 1980s, AI were first adopted in the financial market for basic financial modeling, financial prediction. And if people, I mean, audience are matured enough, we may recall there's a supercomputer called Deep Blue, which specialized in chess playing. I think it was still in the competition with human until the early 2000s, but since then it has basically beaten human in all the chess competition. And machine learning took off in the early 90s when there were basic use case adoption of image recognition. For example, the machine started to recognize what exactly it's a dog, it has 2 ears, 4 legs, 2 eyes, and also at the same time it can identify different type of dogs like poodles, huskies, etc. And with vigorous machine learning, there came the birth of big data as well as deep learning, which is also a subset of AI. And with deep learning, now we can see a lot of autonomous vehicle, which came with the study of rigorous data with a lot of testing. And from 2020 onwards, I think that's where the boom exactly happened. With GPT and LLM, you see a lot of generation of text, audio, and visual, and we are all vying for the content farm. And now, as the panel has just shared, I do believe the future is agentic AI, where AI do have the autonomous power to actually choose what data it's abstract and what resources its orchestrate needs. If I may go to the next slide, please. I'm guessing a lot of us here are marketers. This should not look foreign to you, but in case you're not in the business, basically this is a full stack marketer's tech stack. So just looking at the consumer flywheel, you do have from acquisition awareness, digital marketing, content creation. If you want to look at retaining your customers, you need data, you need automation, and obviously everything holds together with strong project management. So this should not look foreign to you. And when we look at these technology stack, I'm not surprised to find out that they're all AI supercharged. There's a lot of features. So to me, the question is, how do we choose and pick AI tools, not just for content creation, but actually in the whole marketing cycle? How do we choose the AI tools to maximize our return and at the same time, optimize our workflow and making sure that we generate the best outcome possible? So in my following presentation, what I'm going to share is some actual use case that we at LPS, Lenovo PCCW solutions, we either are helping our clients to implement them, or B, we are actually using them ourselves. So this is just some of the use case that we will share. So first of all, I think nowadays that we have shared in the panel, everyone is vying for attention online. We're heavily bidding Google for the keyword search to optimize the traffic to our websites, to our social media. And with AI, we can use a lot of content empowerment to making sure that we're up to date with the keyword and optimize our SEO friendly content. You know, from enhancing visibility in your search engine to actually boosting creative output. Now with AI, we can actually, you know, tailor our audience and from certain parameters, for example, what industry they're based in and what country, geographical location in, and tailor some output to it. But again, like I shared earlier, you know, I don't encourage you to treat this as your final output. This should be just one of the many resources that you look at. Another area that we at Lenovo actually pride ourselves in is how we use AI to not just vie for attention, but actually, you know, make our sales collaterals, our pitch local. Here we have in Lenovo Studio AI, which we have trained an LLM that is familiar with our Lenovo brand of voice and also our branding image. It can produce Lenovo specific collaterals in a matter of seconds, and at the same time, we can tailor it according to different industry and different language. And can we play the video for 1 second? So basically, now what we're showing here is how do you build a Lenovo flyer. So we can type in the product that we intend to market, and at the same time, you know, this is basically a 方太教煮餸個材料已經準備咗俾大家睇啦。時間關係，咁但係 at the same time you can pick the industry. So here we have an healthcare industry. So a lot of the technology jargons that cannot be easily comprehended by outsider, we can turn it into humanly understandable language. And what's more, I think the localized part is where we really are reaping a lot of benefits because we can translate it to up to 18 languages right now. And now we have a Japanese healthcare collateral specific flyer. This Studio AI platform, it's for Lenovo, but at the same time, a lot of clients are now entrusting us to train the LLM to build a marketing sort of collateral machine for them that I think it's working, it's really taking off right now. If we may go to the next slide. And I think thank you. And once we have the marketing collaterals, I think a lot of marketers like ourselves, we face the challenge of C. And C does not stand for cost or customer feedback. It's compliance. In a lot of heavily regulated industry like finance, like insurance, I think dealing with compliance, it's hard in dealing with your end clients. And here we have helped a Pan Pacific Asia insurance company to build an AI compliance toolkit. And the video is showing basically it's an extension on Teams. It's very user friendly. We have trained the LLM. It's powered by Copilot. We've trained the AI to help the marketers check with whether their marketing materials are compliant. We actually updated the LLM very regularly. So with matters of minutes, the AI compliance can output a documents with specific recommendation of what you need to fine-tune and what areas that you might need to seek your compliance officer for further input. So it saves a lot of back and forth, and it helps you to make sure that I think it's just another guardrail in the whole decision process of reducing operational risk. And when it comes to marketers, I think most of our time we deal with CRM, and the new sort of terminology or the new North Star that we were chasing, it's not just CRMs, but CDPs, customer data platforms. So here we have helped one of the international theme parks in Hong Kong to supercharge its CRM to make sure that it's a CDP which can provide actual business input. So, for example, when you go to a theme park, you go there. Sometimes it's different source of customers. They might have different customer touch points, not just in the park itself, but different online browsing behavior, different frequency, different loyalty tiers. And how do you sort of muster all these multiple sources of data into your CRM and build a data platform with a single source of truth to make sure that, okay, now, for example, this is a family of 4 that is from Hong Kong that comes to the theme park every 6 months during a calendar year. And how do we, send out incentive offers to encourage them to come back? And at the same time, which sort of multiple cross-channel delivery we want to use? Do you want to send the offer through an app? Do you want to send your offer through an SMS or email, etc.? So now you have a very centralized, personalized offer that with AI, you're able to reach your customers in a very personalized and timely way. And I do think this is one of the big game changer that we're seeing. The business where I'm in, it's more B2B, but I do see a lot of use case and adoption in B2C marketing. And in terms of retaining your customers, building loyalty, how do you scale it fast? Here we've actually helped one of the logistics clients, a regional logistic company, to build an AI sentiment analysis for its email system. I think that's not something new, but we do have a lot of AI sentiment tests for social media, etc. But right now, right here, it's just giving the customers and also marketers a very clear dashboard of what's happening with its email. We can actually classify and categorize different emails by analyzing its tone of voice and making sure that the results are shown to the marketer, and the emails and the complaints or the compliments can be followed up by different departments. And this is a platform built on Ali Cloud, and we do see a lot of adoption as well. And last but not least, it's how do we harness the power of generative AI to generative BI, which is business intelligence with data mastery. With the world that we are in, I'm afraid, well, the reality is all marketers get heavily, scrutinized for every dollar we spend. It's all about the ROI and how do we make sure that our marketing campaigns and funds are generating the right sort of effect. So now with generative BI, this is a platform that is built on Amazon BlackRock and Amazon Kill. We can have really have data-driven insights for actionable intelligence. So in the past, you will have unscattered data from different teams. So this is an example from one of the retail clients that we work with. So the retail clients, you get all sort of data. For example, what are the top selling items in the shop in Tsim Sha Tsui, and then you can easily compare with another item of different size, a shop, for example, in Qingyi. And I think that's to me, it's basic AI, it's basic 101. You don't need a full-time data scientist. But what we can do is we can analyze the data on the back end, and based on past statistics, they can give predictive answers. For example, you can ask the system or the platform what kind of model that we should be stocking up for the next season. And those kind of generative business intelligence will have executive summaries based on the data that you feed in, and you can use those data and use those advice to sort of establish what you're going to do next. So I think that's where, again, a huge area for people to consider is not just on AI, generative AI, but generative BI. That's where the future is at. And yeah, I think to sort of summarize it, I think these are some of the sort of mentality we try to groom and we try to preach to our partners, to our clients, and even internally. First of all, it's definitely adapt to change. I think I've been to Business Go Virtual for the past 2 years. I do see a lot of shift in not just technology stack. So I'm sure there's a lot of shift in technology adoption as well. I think we're at a crossroad where AI is really taking off, and there'll be more use case, and remain open to change, and there'll be a lot of new things to learn. And the second part is really plot where you want to attack and see what kind of ROI you want to generate. But start with a blueprint. Do you have a good sort of data foundation, and are those data and the AI generating the business goals that you have? And at the end of it, don't just replace people. Surround yourself with people who embrace AI and make AI work for you. Make sure you have the human sort of element in it. And I was just joking with my team before I came. They asked me, what exactly you think AI is? I think AI is like the new gym membership. Everyone pays for it. Everyone subscribed to it. And at the same time, you thought, just subscribing to it, you don't have to do much hard work. You get your six-pack. You get, your beautiful body shape. But no, AI is actually just one of the tools. And how do we actually embed it into our workflow? How do we make sure our team embrace it? And you probably, as an organization, you don't want different team to adopt different AI. You just want, a holistic view and a long-term planning. But at the same time, everyone calls for ROI. I know, I understand. But whether or not, make sure this is sustainable and making sure that it gives you competitive edge, make sure your gym membership works, don't make it, waste, and then make sure AI works in your favor. I'll close it at that, and I thank everyone for, joining me, and wish you a very happy Friday. Thank you.
Thank you, Dickson, for the keynote sharing. Please be seated.